Online viewers. Does anybody know today's topic? I'm hiding it. Anybody knows today's topic? Any idea? Very interesting one, very deep topic. Power of attention. Yes, yeah, very deep, very interesting. And for that, we have our special speaker, Kanan Patel, with us. Kanan has been studying, practicing, and teaching Raj Yoga meditation for over 30 years. And I think I know Kanan personally as well. She's fun to work with. She put always people in ease, and they raise the ball. Kind of the Eastern spiritual wisdom and Western education and culture. So I think it's really best combo in the business. And she has worked with young leaders who have interest in self-development in their communities from a spiritual perspective. So, and Kanan is also an international speaker. She believes that world transform can happen when there is an inner self-transformation. So this evening we have a wealth of experience in here. So please join me in to welcome Kanan. Thank you.
So, Om Shanti, and thank you, Cable, for the introduction. As you can see, being in inner space is quite at home. And when I was given this topic, it was like as if my attention went everywhere, thinking, what am I going to speak about? That was the first thought. And I thought, I think I need this power more than anyone else. And normally it is the case when we have such a topic. So, power of attention. We've always heard this thought in school, pay attention. You're not paying enough attention, you know. And then you probably also heard this word attention in the army. Attention, right? And so when you hear this word, ask yourself this one question. Where have I heard this word? Where have I heard this word? And what does it mean to me? What's the feeling I get when I hear this word? Right? Yeah. So this is the practice being instilled in us from childhood. And so when one hears that word attention, it's actually very simple. It's just putting your mind onto that, into that, and just allowing your mind to work with it. And so where your mind is where the energy is going to flow. So there's this beautiful saying that where energy goes, attention also goes there. In the same way, where attention goes, your energy also goes there, and life grows from there. And so very simple. If I'm going to look at this beautiful point of light, yeah, just look at that point of light. Look at it for 5 minutes. And I'm telling you, with the experiences of many students and many people who've actually seen that image, most of them say, why is this image moving? I said, the image is not moving. The image is always there. There's something that you're doing with your mind with that image that's moving. And so where your mind goes, that's where your attention has gone to. And then what you do with that is based on your intention with what you're doing with it. And so when I understand this simple practice, that attention is simply about that focus, homing in, and behind it is awareness. So I'm aware, yes, that in the world the weather is changing. I'm aware of global warming and all sorts of natural issues that are emerging, and they're going to emerge even more. But then, where is my attention now? What am I doing now? How am I responding now to it? And so attention is really coming back to that simple focus of the mind here. And another word to use when we have this word attention is being in the present. Very simple. Can you listen here now with all the sounds in this room? Can you listen to all of them? Now, can you focus a little bit? Can you hear the traffic? Listen for the traffic. And those online, I'm sure you, in your homes, you can hear the traffic. And if you really are subtle, you will listen for that clock ticking. Now you can hear the train. Go down to that subtle space of being in the present. You can even hear your heart beating. Go down right to that level. You can feel your lungs breathing. And if you touch your wrist, you can feel your pulse, your blood pulsing. And so really getting down to the present and being very attentive is simple. It's just that we've not been taught or pulled our awareness to that point. And that's when we can breathe. The mind can breathe. And you are in control. You feel in control. Secondly, with your eyes, can you pick up all the objects in this room and all the colors? It takes you literally a minute. You're really attentive. All the pictures, the chairs, all the different electricals, the lights, the windows, the doors, the sound system, the flowers, literally the board. Pick it up with your eyes. And it takes a minute to be here. All of us, look at you, around you, who's there, who's wearing what. Look at your faces, look at each other. Look at your neighbor. Smile at your neighbor. At those who are at home, look at each other. We don't look at each other, do we? Right? And so that simple tip of paying attention helps you to be grounded. We never are in control when our mind is in the past because it's already gone, done. We can't change it. We haven't seen what's going to happen the next hour. And so spanning our attention onto the future or the past is not allowing me to be focused. And so this word attention gives a lot of control over the self, over being in the present. And that's where change happens. And so if I was to create positive thoughts, where would I begin? How would I begin? In the present, yes. Yes, in the present. And how would I create those positive thoughts? looking at the brighter part of everything. Well, what do I feel the brighter part is? Yes, yes. And you know, it's very simple. It's as simple as giving a smile. We start with that. Uh, You just give a smile and that positive energy arises. And the word smile, it might sound a bit, like what's the so good in this? But I will tell you, when I had a fracture and broke 5 bones, the one tip my senior gave me, and this was Sister Jayanti, was keep smiling. And I was wondering, is that it? I'm here in total pain. And that's the tip she's giving, keep smiling. And so I did follow her instructions because I'm very good at taking on board my seniors' advices because they're very good. And I did that. Every time I was in pain, I would smile. And I got that certificate from my seniors that every time we see Kanan, she just smiles each time we come into the room. So I am saying that even in extreme pain, keep a smiling face and it shifts. Because at that time, I could not meditate, let me tell you. I was really fully focused. My attention was absolutely on the pain. But within that, to create a positive feeling, I do need to do something. Smile, even if you can't. And so I exercised the habit of smiling in that 1 year. And so I didn't lose anything. I gained a very good character of smiling, though I could still do more, I feel, like all of us. And so positivity A does come from smiling. First start, exercise these muscles a bit. It lifts the energy. And then things shift. And so what grew? That happiness grew. And after that, I got that certificate that in your fall, there was no loss, there was more gain. Because the amount of people that were coming into the center, most of them were coming to see me, and I was wondering why, only to get their blessings and healing power so that I'd heal. But at the same time, I practiced smiling because what else could I give in return? Couldn't do much physically for them, right? And if they were to ask me how I felt, I couldn't be that honest, could I? Yeah. So in a situation where you are, stuck or in that stage where you can't do much, smile. And even God seems to be just like a shining star in the corner. You can't even feel that energy. But you do know that that power is there for you, that's for sure. So the knowing is there, even though you may not feel that energy coming into the soul. Because I wasn't going to complain. I wasn't going to argue or blame. I wasn't going to go down that track. Had I done that, then I may not have healed. I may not have passed through that phase in my life. And so, a question for you in your own silence to reflect. What were those moments in your life where they were the most toughest, most traumatized situations, where you have felt it? And what have you done in it? Where was your attention in that time? And what did you do to come out of it? And each one of you will have your own answer. So keep it to yourself. But remind yourself when you're in that deep state of negativity, of pain, what do you need to do to come out of it? Because sometimes meditation is not the solution. And so when you then begin to find your method of taking yourself out of it, you found what it is that's going to help you. That's when you need to capitalize on it. It could be going to the forest and planting trees. That could help you. It could be going and doing some artwork on some wall, which reflects your happiness, not your negativity. Because you want to create happiness, remember this. You don't want to create anything negative. It could be singing a beautiful song to your loved ones. What is it that helps you to come out? There'd be a whole list. And so when one begins to pay attention to what is real to you, then only you're coming from a space of your own original self. And each one of us has it. Each one of us. And we all have different ones. And within that, when you come out of your negative space, what is my next step? When I do come out, what is my next step? Shall I tell you? The next step is to appreciate. Be grateful, thankful. Because if I'm not grateful and thankful, then that very same shift that I experienced will not multiply in my life. You want that shift to multiply, that in the future, in any moment in my life or any time during my journey on this planet, if I was to encounter any emotion that was similar, I have the gift of knowing what to do at that time. And that is a big stepping stone to my success. And so gratitude is very important. Very important. We often hear people talk about how grateful they are for their parents, how grateful they are for their teachers, how grateful they are for their mentors, how grateful they are for those who have pushed them and coached them, trained them for who they are today. And so you would have seen that in their lives, they always listened. They always were attentive to being coached or being trained or being instructed or being helped to tame them, to mold them into the highest and the best. Whether it's a table tennis player, whether it's a football player, whether it's an actor acting, whether they're the best architects in the world, whoever they may be, the champions of the champions, you would have heard their stories. The best healers, the best doctors, the best pilots, their attention and focus, those who have really excelled to the highest level of who they are. Their value is so high that even their name is enough for a company to say, just come, you know. So when there is gratitude for that little, that humility comes. And humility is priceless today because you can have a lot of information and you can know a lot of people. You can have a lot of money. You can be super good in your mind. You can have very good relationships. But if humility is not there, not many want to go to you because you get that feeling they've got it all. And therefore, if I want to excel in being the best, if I want to be the one who actually has this power, then I need to have the art of not knowing, that I don't know, that I'm not aware. Because when you're in the present, you need to be totally aware. You need to have part of you just letting go of the past and not having any awareness of what's happening in the future, what's coming. But all it is I want to learn. Whoever's in front of me, seeking that learning, that attitude of wanting to hear, to listen, to appreciate. So when you are grateful, make sure it's tagged with humility. Because you can be the best actor in the world. But if you're not grateful and humble for the simple person who's not an actor, or maybe very simple to you, looking up to you, you may ignore your fans. And those fans are coming with like one glimpse in their life, they'll ever see you, and you've ignored them. Will they ever listen to you, to your movies, or will they watch them? They won't. Right? And so in our life, we don't have to wait to be some super actor or some super professional or some, highly valuable person. We don't have to wait for that. We think, when we've reached some sort of stardom, or when our parents have lifted us high and thought we've done it all, and that's when we've felt that we've reached that level. No, it starts from that quality of virtue that you begin to pay attention to in everything you do. After then, things begin to manifest in the physical. But it's that little part of you that wants to pay attention to that virtue. Because it's the virtues in my life that are invaluable, that make me invaluable. It's not the packaging. The packaging comes later. Have you noticed? The product is first. So what's in me? Where is my inner focus? Particularly at the Brahma Kumaris, the most important lesson that we get taught is the Raj Yoga meditation. Meditation that helps us to attain that level of sovereignty, that level of attention over the mind, over the intellect, over the sanskaras, the subconscious. Raja means king. Mastery over your mind, your intellect, and your subconscious. And those who haven't done the 7 days course are listening for the first time. Really, an invitation for you to actually do the course. And it is helpful to understand your own mind, your own intellect, and your own subconscious. And that to know that I, the being, am a soul, that light that drives this body. That body is made up of 5 elements. And that I, the soul, am the master over the body. To have the knowledge of the true sense of identity is in itself very, I would say, very simple, is in itself truthful, but it gives a sense of relief in this world. As a child, when I learned this, I learned Raj Yoga meditation when I was only 5. And when I learned that I was a soul, I was this beautiful star, I took that on board very easily. And then when I learned everyone is also a star, point of light, being of peace, that was even more easy. I thought, okay, now I don't have to work hard on thinking who I am or work hard on thinking who that one is. I already know they're a soul. And that's easy for me. The skin, the body can have different color, can be from different background, different culture, different tradition, different country, different statuses, positions, mindset, doesn't matter. But at least they are a soul, a peaceful being originally. So I can connect there first. I can connect to them as a being of light. That's easy. I can do that. So that shyness that I had, and you would not believe me, I'm the last person to sit on this stage. I'd rather sit behind the kitchen and scrub the pots. That's me. That's much easier for me. That's the place I'm very comfortable. Get me to just do something with my hands and let the public be the public. Very shy, even when there were guests coming into our home, and we got a big family. They'd always pick on me to bring the glass of water to carry to the guests, and I would be like shaking like this. I wouldn't even face the guests in my home. That was me, that shy. And my own father had not heard my words even, because he was busy with his work. He never even heard my own voice. My own father. And later, when he found out that how much I had developed and began to share one fine day, I was age 30, that's when he actually heard me. He had this question, how do you speak so much? Where did this all come from? You know? And so I can tell you one thing, there is that transformation that does happen when you begin to focus on transforming yourself. Because you just don't realize what's shifted and shifting and making you do. And so when I practice that I am a soul, huge shifts happen. There's a relief in the mind that, okay, everyone's a soul. They're all good. But then where is it that we have to guard our attention? Right? Everyone's good. The attention is good also. But then I need to also guard it. That also I need to be smart. Isn't it? We all know that we love to get distracted. Each one of us. We don't want it. We don't like ourselves when we do it, but it happens. And so how do we guard ourselves from the wrong sense of attention? Place where we're not supposed to focus our mind on. And we do know when we do focus our mind there, we are consuming content and information and images that are very disturbing, that are very uncomfortable, that perhaps may be very violent. But then we've conditioned the mind to think that this is excitement and excitement is fun. Little do we realize what we are imprinting in our sanskara, in our subconscious, in our memory. And then we think that we're going to have a very good night's sleep. Are we? We're not. Right? So what is it that I'm consuming? What diet am I having for the mind? What am I exposing my eyes to? Especially today's world, it's all on the phone. Don't you need to wait for a TV screen to appear? What is it that I'm secretly exposing or getting influenced by? That's what I need to guard myself from. Easier said than done. But if I have clarity of what I want in my life and where I want to be and what I want to become in my life, if I have that clarity, I will create those guards. But it's because I don't have and I don't know that I am not able to put those guards. And so attention plus purpose is power. If you know where you're going, if you know the meaning of what your life is about now in this birth, if you know where you're going, then yes, you will definitely capitalize on all the habits and characteristics and personalities and thoughts and feelings and attitudes. The list is long, and the tone of voice and the body language and your relationships. You will continually keep working on the inside to the outside. Continually, because that will be your driving force. That will be your passion. That's when confidence, power, and control automatically come. They will come. So the power of attention will be there. It will be guided by your purpose. And when will you discover your purpose? How will you know that, yes, I'm living my purpose? I'd like to bring Daddy Janki into the picture here because I've had the fortune of living with her, being with her, learning from her, being mentored. And today my life is really because she's been there for me. And I've taken so much inspiration from her. She at one point was addressing a very powerful delegation of teachers in India at the headquarters. And she was about 100 odd years at that time. And I happened to be in the gathering with her. And she said something that actually made me quite amazed. She said, I'm here, I'm with you all. I don't have any center of mine. I don't have any students. I don't even have a department in this headquarters. You all are taking care of everything so well. And then the question someone can ask is, what is Daddy doing all day if she has nothing to do? What is she doing? Right? And so you know what Daddy answered? Daddy said, I just stay happy and make others happy. That's it. That was her purpose. It was driven by that I stay happy and I make everyone else happy, and that's it. And of course, the happiness she gives would be totally based on the principles of Raj Yoga because she lived it. They were based on very high quality values, which of course she had groomed that over the years, over the decades. And she was a TB patient. She had a lot of difficulty with her health, yet nobody ever knew that. A patient being the head of the organization at 100. Who would ever thought? because she always carried herself with this feeling that she was a child of God. That was her inner identity. She was child of God. That's it. And that's how she carried herself around all 100 countries. She didn't carry the hat of some organization on her head. She didn't carry some sort of burden of taking care of some families or some countries. She didn't carry any of that heaviness. So, point is that one thought that you want to live by, that you want to simply create your world around and stem from, is very, very important. It has to be a positive one. And it has to be a spiritual one too, beyond the skin and the eyes and the ears, beyond this limited world. And so today when I went to the shop and I picked a book, I thought I'm going to pick a book for everybody. That's what I thought. And the book that stood out for me was The Power of One Thought. It's very interesting. This book has been there in the shop for quite a few years in front of me, but I'd never opened it. I've opened everyone else's books, but I've never opened this one until I read behind it. And it was very interesting what was said. It says, tired of thinking about a million things all at once? Have a hard time sitting by yourself for 15 minutes doing nothing? Troubled by a mind that questions why, when, what, if, but, then? If yes, this book is for you. Right? So isn't it appropriate for today's talk? Power of attention. Literally, if you're struggling with no attention, tension, if you're struggling with tension of questions, this is the book, Power of One Thought. So I thought that would be useful for you. And after the talk, you're most welcome to buy it, and it's also there online. Very much a book to go through. And as I flicked through, I thought, oh, that'll be interesting for me to go through. And so when you have that one thought and you've mastered it, your focus increases. And so what best practices in the Brahma Kumaris helps us to actually maintain this practice? We have something called the traffic control system. And those who've come to the center would have known that there's a little music that gets played, or you can have it also on your phones at home. There's an app. Every hour it comes on for 1 minute to remind you to stop the traffic of your thoughts and direct them. Not to stop and then stay dull, no, direct them to inside. Stop them from going out, direct them in, and then up, beyond. Connect to the Supreme. Because in this world today, why is it important to know about the power of attention? Anything can happen at any time, at any place, in any situation. We are in that world today. An earthquake can happen now. A tsunami can happen now. Anything can happen now. We don't know. Electricity, water can go off anytime. We don't know. No one's going to tell us when it's going to happen. But all we do know is if I learned the art to be in control of my mind will be my best friend at that time. If I haven't befriended my mind, let me tell you one thing, in a situation like that, it's going to be an enemy. So let me learn the art to befriend my mind. Understand your own mind. Don't bother about other people's mind, because I have to live with my mind. No one can go in there and get rid of your mind, right? So how do I make friends with my mind? I simply give attention. That's it. I just give it attention like a child. The mind is like a child. It just goes everywhere. It has no limits. Does it? Does it have any limits? No, it can go from here to New York in a second. Yet we value planes that fly from New York to London, don't we? Don't we value them? Costs a lot. British Airways takes 5 hours to fly between the two cities. But Concorde takes 2 hours. Isn't it? Yet what's the price ticket for Concorde? It's a bit more. So mankind has placed value on that which has shortened time. But I, the soul, can use my mind to go to New York in a second. I have a vehicle that can take me to an experience in a second. The mind is the most amazing power that you will ever have. It's a fantastic genie. It's just that we haven't understood it. We haven't understood what we have, because we're too busy looking at the outside and valuing things on the outside. But if you befriend the mind that you have, what can you not become? Mankind can put their mind on metal and steel and create bridges and buildings that engineering heights have really taken to that level. If that same intellect, that same mind that's focusing on that is turned inside, imagine what you can create in your world inside. You can create heaven inside you. You can. It's just how you're going to do it is in your hands. Just as there is a world out there on the physical, there is an inner world in me that is huge, equally big, waiting to be discovered, should you know how to direct your mind into yourself and discover who you really are and what you really have. It's actually fascinating. It's just that we haven't been taught. That's all. And it's just that we haven't learned the art to use the mind. And so, guarding your attention, keeping the practice of making your attention powerful every hour with that traffic controls. Best practice it is. You don't need to make effort. Just the music comes on and it reminds you, I need to pause, stop. And I did that consciously once with determination. I remember I was told, practice it every hour. And when I was told that, I thought, well, I'm already doing it. This is already, I'm in the center, I'm doing it already, you know. And when I was told firmly to practice, I thought I really better practice it. I'm going to lose my job here. So I, with determination, thought, I am a soul. You know, it wasn't that feeling, I am a soul. It wasn't that type of feeling. It's like, I am a soul. I better be a soul. Otherwise, that soul thought will really fly high and I won't become it. It'll be just sitting in the head. It won't be in the heart. So I had to muscle that thought in my heart. And I thought, if I'm being told every hour, let me do it every half an hour. So I did it every half an hour. And in those days, there was no phone, no mobile, nothing. It was just a watch I had, a wristwatch. So every half an hour, I was in the first day completely time conscious. So every half an hour, I was waiting for the half an hour to have that one thought coming into me. But the second day, interestingly enough, I stopped every half an hour. Before the half an hour tick, I stopped. The mind just was conditioned. And then I had this thought, I'm a soul, a being of peace. The third day, I cannot tell you how I felt. It's like the whole day I felt the same. I was the soul. And the fourth day, when I woke up in the morning and I looked at my face in the mirror, I was totally a different person. Even my face lifted. You would have thought I went to the spa and did a facelift. It was because I lifted the attention up with my mind. And then I realized, that's true, I don't really practice it. I hadn't practiced it till now. And then when I recognize this in me, when I tell others, have you practiced it? Their face will tell me they haven't done it, because I know the difference. It works. Raj Yoga meditation works if you've made it work for you. But if you haven't, then you don't see the change. Because it is a simple truth. Because I'm a point. Look at that image. What does it make you feel first? It's beautiful. So imagine if you think about it, how will you feel? You will feel beautiful, guaranteed you. And your thoughts will become beautiful too. And if they're not, they'll align and make you feel beautiful. So you will feel aligned. And so where attention goes, energy flows and life grows. And so ultimately you'll become like a spiritual magnet. It's very simple. I just need to know that the force that is making me stay conscious that I'm a soul is also a soul. The supreme soul, the divine, the being, that ocean of peace, that universal power is always beautiful, is always the one making me feel that energy. And so when I'm connected, that one is guiding me. My attention is naturally on that one. I don't need to make effort to remember that one. And I was taught this from childhood. My mother said to us, to me and my sister, that today we are there for you, but tomorrow if we're not, remember that one is there for you. And so that made me think, that one is there for me. And so all human beings, one day their body will go. So there's no point being dependent on any human being. I need to live my life with that eternal being, because that one is going to be my guiding force, my protector, my supporter, my giver. That one. And people then ask, well, where do you get this from? Where do you get that from? How do you get this? And I'm like smiling at them. How can I say? I just say, well, that one's providing. It's just coming. I'm not asking for it. And even if I do ask, it does happen. It appears. And so when you have that connection, that blessing comes. So connection doesn't come just overnight. It comes with building a relationship with that one. I don't build a relationship, nothing comes to me. I build a relationship, everything comes. There's an exchange of love. So what is it in building a relationship? It's a very touchy topic when we have these planning meetings and this word relationship comes up. They say, people don't like the word relationship anymore. I said, okay, well, I have no issue. But anyway, I kept to understand that there are complex relationships. there is something like trauma and having relationships that are not right. And when I understand that, I recognize, yes. But then, aren't we supposed to fix our internal relationship with ourselves? Aren't we supposed to make it happen for us? When are we going to start that work? Someday we'll need to start it. And so, in my life, I've never given up on anything, on anyone. Not for myself, not from someone. No. I made too much effort to be with that one all these years, to stay in this work of spiritual awakening. So every year I create a focus for myself that I need to work on. This year, my attention on my own internal work is balance. Just the word balance. I use it in everything I do at this stage. And I understand it. For me, my own practice. So ask yourself, what is it that you, not to say that you have to create some sort of big resolution. What is it that you wish to always have? The past 3-4 years, it was love. I focused a lot on love. I still do. It's become so natural for me. Because I deeply want to experience that quality on all levels. And I deeply feel that was what was lacking. So I bumped it up. It's like as if when your doctor tells you, oh, your vitamin D is low, what you're going to do? Just take a supplement, isn't it? So in the same way, when the soul knows, yes, this vitamin, this quality of love is low, it needs a bit more, you just keep giving more attention to your mind, to that thought, and that's it. You don't need to do anything. It's not that you need to feel that the love or wait for that loveful feeling to emerge. No. Just keep giving attention to that thought. Keep building that thought. You don't have to feel it in the beginning. Just keep on. And eventually there's that level, that line that you reach, that things suddenly pop and emerge. And like people suddenly say, you're so loving. And you wonder, I haven't done anything. And then you know the signal comes from outside that really that love's working. Until you don't get a signal, you don't share with anyone that you're doing that work, of course. You keep working on it till you hear some sort of signals around you that it's working. I'm feeling it. Others are feeling it. It really is reached that level. And so when you begin to understand your inner being, what's happening inside and what's lacking and what needs to be filled, then you feel, yes, I'm living life in the right way inside. And for the past 2 years, one of the things that I focused on for my own self was whenever I sat on any chair, anywhere, whether it's in a car or a bus or a plane or any chair, even in a classroom or some sitting room, I made it a point not to close my eyes. I said, I'm not going to close it. Because sometimes I felt, okay, I'm on the sofa, I'll just close my eyes. And I said, no, you will not. You will stay alert. We're living in such a time. Anything can happen. And I did. Whether I'm on the stage, off the stage, wherever I am, if I'm sitting, it doesn't matter if people are looking at me or not looking at me. I am not going to close my eyes. And really, that paid off. I could see the result this year. I didn't do much. That's not a lot. That's just one thing I did. And it's so small, no one would ever have noticed. But that physical attention, that alertness brought it up. So the energy lifts. So you have that inner stability. So I'm looking at the time now. And anyone have any questions or comments? That means you've understood everything. One question? Online. Okay.
One question from the online viewer. What quality of thought do you focus on? What thought do you focus on when the quality of love is low?
Beautiful. What thought do you focus on when the quality of love is low? Low. I am a loving being. I have love. I am love. And I keep repeating that. And each time I meet anyone, in my heart, I say, I love you. You don't need to say it through your words, they'll mistake you. Just in your mind, I love you. And when you look at yourself in the mirror, you definitely say, I love you. Keep the thought of love alive. It's not only a lover that's going to say it to you. That's just external. You have to keep saying it all the time in your mind. And together with love, love is strengthened when you are grateful. So I thank you, I love you, and please forgive me. Forgiveness also cleans the soul. So you let go of hatred and pain and any sadness or remorse. So you forgive. But I love you, I am love. These are the two very powerful thoughts to keep repeating. With that experience, I'm a soul. Remember that. Not the body, soul. I'm loving the soul, that star, the being of light, the energy. Yeah? Yes.
So you mentioned about like the choices you make, like if you're watching like phones or TV, that kind of influence, you can decide to switch off and not get involved in that. But what about everyday kind of like who you meet and all, or places of work, home, or anywhere like that? You can't just switch those people off. So how do you tackle those? I guess that goes back to your point what you just made through the love point. What can we do about that one?
Very good question. And I know when I go to a few places where, I have discovered that it's very interesting. People don't seem to switch off their TVs nowadays. They just, one after the other, it's on and on and on, and there's no space to breathe. My own family, we came from the TV family, I would say. Our father and grandfather ran the drive-in cinema back in Mombasa in Kenya. And we come from that. So we know the energies where that energy is too strong. And we were lucky. We were safe from the influence of it because we had a meditation room. It was specially created after they learned meditation, our parents. And so we had a space in the house where we would just disappear and be quiet. And our uncle, he was very clever. After coming from office and having a shower and having his dinner, immediately he went to sit in that meditation room. The lights were on. It was beautiful light pink. And he had this beautiful music playing. Everybody would gather there at 7:00. So nobody felt like going to the TV. They felt like going to the TV after 7:30 because that's when the meditation stopped. So I always say that in families, if you want to create a change, you have to change your timetable first. You need to create that time in which you're going to create peace and be very determined about it. Go into your room, maybe that's your only space of quietness. Switch on a beautiful commentary. Let the family know you are meditating. They will slowly get to know. Because after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they'll be like, let them meditate or let her meditate. They like it. And so I always felt a safety when there was a meditation room in a home, or whether you created a time in the evening or in the morning. And we knew 4 o'clock in the morning, that meditation room was always lit. They were awake, meditating. We felt very safe. So create a lifestyle where you are slotting morning and evening, some meditation practice within your home. That's one tip. Mike.
It's related kind of context switching and multitasking at the same time. So think of you having 3 different sites to go to. What are you going to do at different time? They could be back to back, which I'm sure a lot of people experience managing multiple projects. So there's a constant like traffic light comes up, you take a break and you prioritize for half an hour, 1 hour, then again like immediate attention or attention after 2 hours. How do you do that micro level attention management on an hourly basis rather than daily, given circumstances?
I've seen Daddy Janki do that. She's able to be very attentive to everything every day, in every way. Whether there's 100 in front of her, she still knows what's being cooked. She knows what's being cooked. Dinner time, lunch time, breakfast time, she knows what's cooked. She even knows who's cooking. She even knows what is going to happen after that. She even knows her own timetable and other people's timetable. And I'm saying this because once she had given me a task to do of translating. She was, can you translate this? And I said, yes, Daddy. But she was pulling me again and again in the middle of so many people to do other things. So I wasn't able to translate it because I needed a computer. So I was waiting for the space on a computer. And within those tasks, she was still checking and she goes, have you done that work? And I'm thinking 100 people came to her and she's still asking me, have you done that work? And she's done about 20 other jobs in the middle within those 2-3 hours. And she's still remembering, have you done my job? I said, no, I haven't. In the evening, I thought she'll forget about it. She'll ask tomorrow. She still asked me, have you done it? I said, no. It took me 2 days to get it done for her. But she was behind it, and it was a very small translation within all the different works she was handling. And she was 90 plus. And it wasn't just one crowd. It was from different countries, different families, individuals, this, that. And I'm like, how did she manage this? And I'm like one of them, in the middle. So if you've got a very cool mind, very cool mind, you're able to multitask. But once your mind has multitasked, you're able to also detach and fuel that mind again in silence. I watched Daddy fuel herself. She used to pause after everyone came. She didn't just jump into them. She had that 1 minute pause. Even when she was drinking water, she paused. Her mind was peaceful. So you do need to include spaces of peace, whether it's 1 minute, 30 seconds, 10 seconds, consciously, that habit in a natural way needs to come. You can't wait to go to a meditation room. That's just your drawing board to sharpen your intellect. But then you need to use that intellect when you're at work. You can't just, say it's not possible, I can't do it. You need to use it. Then only, yes, I'm actually pushing the soul forward. Otherwise, the soul will stay. You can't stay in your meditation room all day. You're going to be dull. Create those spaces, but then become natural at it. Yeah. We have time. So last one, yeah. Last
Hi, sisters. Thank you for the session. As you said, like when you had that broken wrist, or you had a bone injury, and Jantiban asked you to smile. Uh, how did you manage that? Because obviously your brain was focusing on the pain or the agony, whatever was happening with you. All the negative thoughts comes when you are negative. How do you focus on the positive part? Because if you try to focus, it's kind of a constant tug of war. Your brain is trying to say no, pain, but you're trying to say no, I'm good.
I got it.
So
Yeah.
like even if you fake it, people say fake it till you make it. Brain is more smarter than anything
Yeah.
else. You have to deep root it to tell him, like, how did you manage that?
Okay. Of course, initially it was hard, but eventually I had to back it up with a lot of other good feelings that, you know, there's a nurse who's attending to me. So I need to be nice to the nurse. Otherwise, I'm not going to get a good care treatment here. You know, she's going to have to help me lift me up and in. So that's what it doesn't matter. She's still a human being. It doesn't matter, paid or not paid. She's still a soul. And so she still has equal love and equal pain in her own heart, right? So if I am in pain and I'm not going to smile and appreciate her, you don't want her to lift your leg in another direction by mistake, right? So you are responsible of your energy. And even if someone's coming with a glass of water, you do need to smile and say thank you. Otherwise, that glass of water is not going to come with a lot of love next time. So I was so aware that whoever is coming to help me, I am grateful for them to do this for me. Because they're not paid to come to me. No one's paid to come to me. In the center, no one's paid here. We're all volunteers. They're not paid to be with me. They're taking their time out and giving their life and heart at that moment. You can do that for 3 days, 4 days, but for a year, that's a lot. And so how was I going to do that? I had to be loving. I had to smile. If I didn't do that small return, then I couldn't get up. So I had to appreciate. Of course you do. Isn't it? Even if I was in hospital, when I was in hospital and the nurses were there, every nurse, I smiled at them because they were tired. They were doing shifts 12 hours. I don't want to see a tired nurse coming to me. I want to be the one to help them get rid of their tiredness, right? And appreciate that 5 minutes they're giving to me. And you wouldn't believe it. Most of the time, those same nurses kept coming back to me. They didn't change other nurses because they were waiting to see me. And I'm like, oh, is there a line there? They're thinking, yes, we haven't seen you. We haven't seen you. So you do win hearts, you know, so there's no loss. They're not obliged to come. They've got families and they've got issues. You know, they're a human being. So we do need to understand the hearts in front of us. They are souls. Okay, so I'm seeing time and we just end with a few minutes meditation and then an announcement that's followed. So let's just sit with attention and allow your legs to just relax and be grounded, and allow your head to be level. And breathe in and out. If you want, you can allow your eyes to rest on the point of light in front of you. And try and emerge a sweet smile. And in this space, in this place, I create that one thought that I the being of light, the soul, the spark, the energy that is pure, powerful, truthful, and beautiful. I am that soul, detached from this body. I bring my attention to this vibration of peace. And with this vibration, I allow gratitude and humility to emerge. Grateful for this time, grateful for all of us being here today. And a pure thought that may this vibration, this feeling be recalled and remembered in moments of times where I need it the most. The more I remember I'm a soul, the more I center and become focused. And when I turn my attention up beyond this globe, beyond this universe, into a world of peace, I connect to the Supreme Being, the ocean of peace, the ocean of power, the one who fills me with all goodness, all truth. The source of light and might. And with this light, I come back into this world, back in the middle of my forehead behind the eyes, my temporary home. Om Shanti. And just a few announcements that there will be a self-esteem course on Saturday, the 5th April, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Okay, sorry. Positive thinking, yeah. Wednesday, the 16th, and Thursday, the 17th. That's tomorrow. Okay. So 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Thank you. 5:30 p.m. to 7. Yeah. And there'll be no meditation on a Sunday because of Easter and Thursday evening, and Monday evening, sorry, right? But they will be this Thursday. So most welcome to come before your Easter. And next week, 22nd of April, there will be a talk on vision and perception. So sharpen your vision. Will add value to today's talk. Som Shanti and thank you.